What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought that you were honestly too skinny or too thin to get in the gym and put on some serious muscle? Well, trust me, I have been exactly where you are. I used to be 130 pounds and I have been able to build myself up to 210 pounds of lean muscle. So if you're really skinny right now and you want to find a way to get in the best shape of your life, put on some serious muscle and unlock your true potential, stick around for this video. I am going to show you the 5 best ways that you can put on muscle as a skinny guy. So let's get right into it. The first tip I have for you to put on muscle as a skinny guy is you got to understand muscle growth. So as someone who was skinny, as someone who has been skinny, I understand it is very hard to kind of find the drive and the ability to get into the gym and get started thinking you're too skinny to see any results. Well, I am here to tell you that is absolutely not possible. So look, as someone who's skinny, you are going to have something that is called Newbie gains, and these are going to be your secret weapon. What this means is your body and your muscles are going to be super new to this new stimuli, this new pressure that you're putting on them, and it's going to be very unfamiliar, and you are going to be able to put on size and muscle very, very quickly to the tune of 1 to 2 pounds a week for your first 2 months. It is all done with proper nutrition. So if you can dial in your workout plans, dial in exactly what you're eating, you will be able to use the power of these Newbie gains and stack 1 to 2 pounds of muscle per week for about the first 2 months. Now look, muscle growth is mostly about calories and progressive overload. Look, I'm gonna give you the raw truth. If you're skinny and you want to actually put on muscle, you're gonna have to eat, and you are going to have to eat a lot. Now, I'm not saying go and eat a ton of fast food and junk. You're gonna wanna eat clean, high protein foods, but you're also going to need to be turning up the intensity on your workout. So, quick definition of what progressive overload would look like. Let's say you were doing bench press for 135 pounds and you did it and you got to failure around rep 12. Let's say after a couple of chest days, you're now benching 135 pounds, but you're able to do it for 15 plus reps without really getting too tired. Now you're gonna want to increase the weight to, let's say, 150 pounds and get to a point where you're failing at around the rep 10 to rep 12 range, and then keep doing that, and lo and behold, soon you're gonna be benching 225 for reps. Now, consistency is going to beat intensity every time. The most important tip, the most important thing I can give you is once you develop and build out your training plan, your meal plan, you need to find something and stay consistent with it. Treat it like a business. Schedule it into your day, whether before or after work or midday, whatever works best for you. Pick a time and get to a point where you are sticking to that time, whether it's 5 days a week, 6 days a week, or you're at a point where you can do 7 days a week. Whatever time you pick, make sure you stay consistent, because that is going to be one intense workout per week every single time. What's up, guys? I appreciate you making it this far in the video. I wanted to take a quick pause and just let you know how you guys can get in contact with me. I have a lot of people reach out and they're saying, how can we learn more? How can we get coached by you? All of this stuff. And I want to give you guys the way you can do that. So there's going to be a link in the description of this video. It's going to take you to my website. There's going to be a video on there. I want you to watch that video. If you feel like you were the person I am speaking to in that video, I want you to click the button below, go schedule a call with me. I'm going to personally reach out to you so we can put together a game plan of how I can actually help you achieve and get your fitness goals that you have been chasing. So go to the link in the description, watch the video. If you feel like I am speaking to you, go ahead, book a call. I will personally reach out and we will get something going for you. Now, trick number 2 to put on muscle as a skinny guy, you've really got to dial in your nutrition. So like I said, you are gonna have to eat a lot. What I did when I was personally very skinny is probably wasn't the healthiest way to do it, but I just ate 4,000 calories a day, tried to literally put on as much size as possible through chicken and rice, beef and rice, mass gainer shakes, a lot of protein shakes, and I just tried to get as many calories in that my body could literally handle each day. What I would recommend now is going online, searching up calorie counter, putting in your current weight where you want to go. It will spit out exactly how many calories you should be eating each day. A good range is going to be 500 calories above maintenance. So let's say your maintenance calories for the day is 2,200. I would recommend eating about 2,700 to even 3,000 calories per day, so you can really be able to pack on size and pack on muscle very quickly. Now, you are going to want to eat 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So for simple math purposes, let's say you weigh 100 pounds. You are going to want to eat 150 grams of protein during each day. I know it may seem like a lot, but it's very easy to get in, especially with foods like chicken breast and ground beef and protein shakes. If you want to do it, it is something that can very easily be done. And then next, you are going to want to plan and prep your meals. What I would personally recommend is on a day where you do not have a lot going on. For me personally, this day is Sunday. So I like to do all of my meal prepping on Sunday. So I cook everything, I put it all together, I throw a little TV show on, have a nice time doing it, and then all of my meals are set for that entire week. So I have a breakfast, I have a lunch, I have a dinner, cook it all on Sunday, and then I don't even have to think about what I'm going to eat during the week. I know it's going to be good for you, low in calories, high in protein, good with healthy carbs and fats, and it is going to be my fuel for the day and help me put on size, put on muscle, and keep me in very good shape. And lastly, don't fear healthy carbs and fats. Good example here, gonna be like avocados, olive oil, white rice, sourdough bread. These are good examples of carbs and fats that you should be incorporating every single day into your diet. Don't just think protein, protein, protein. Yes, hit your protein goal for the day, but do not neglect the healthy fats and carbs that your body needs to run and function at its best. So the third thing that I want to teach you about how to put on muscle as a skinny guy is going to be your training strategy. So to start, look, you probably don't have much experience in the gym, and that is okay. What you want to start out doing is your focused compound lifts. So this is going to be your squat, your deadlift, your bench press, your shoulder press, your bent over row. Now, compound lifts are great because they're going to activate more than just one muscle group. So a good example is going to be a squat, a classic barbell back squat. Now with a back squat, you're going to activate your quads, your hamstrings, and your glutes all in one movement. Now the opposite of a compound lift is something like an isolated exercise, and an example for legs is going to be quad extensions, where you're sitting down and the weight's pressing against your shins, and then you extend your legs forward, putting pressure and tension on your quads. You're not really triggering any of your glutes or your hamstrings, you are isolating your quads. Don't get me wrong, isolated exercises are great, but at the beginning, really focus and prioritize progressive overload on your compound lifts, which brings me into the next point, which is progressive overload over fancy exercises. Look, you'll get to a point where you can do all the fancy science-based workouts, the next trendy thing you see on TikTok, but at the beginning, if you want to get real results very quickly, you need to prioritize your compound lifts and doing them with progressive overload, and then adding a few isolated exercises in there as you get better and more experienced in the gym, following progressive overload on those as well. Next part, you want to work out 4 to 5 times per week for about 60 to 90 minutes long. Yes, you're going to get to a point where you can work out 6-7 days a week. It took me 2.5 to 3 years to get to a point where I was consistently able to work out 7 days a week. Look, I want you to build something that is consistent, a framework, a training program that you can be consistent with. If that's 4 days a week for an hour, if that's 5 days a week for 75 minutes, whatever it is, write it down, stick to it, be very consistent with it. So 4 to 5 workouts per week, 60 to 90 minutes long. If you can do that consistently, you are going to be in very, very good shape. And then lastly, recovery is the hidden growth factor. Look, we're in a hustle culture. People want to grind, but dude, you need to prioritize your sleep. Now, another part of recovery is going to be your protein intake and your hydration, which I talked about previously. So making sure you're prioritizing those, but most importantly, dial in your sleep. A solid 7 to 9 hours each night is not only going to help you recover your muscles better for your workout the following day, you are going to feel more rested, more productive. You're going to have better days overall. Sleep is a magical thing that should not be neglected whatsoever. prioritize your recovery, and you will be on a very fast track to packing on muscle. Strategy number 4 that I have for you guys to pack on muscle as a skinny guy is going to be honestly the most important one of this entire video. It is commitment and consistency. So step number 1, you got to track your workouts and your meals. Like I told you earlier, prepping your meals is very important, and if you don't track when you're eating, at what time, what you're eating, you're not really going to know, and you're not going to have the necessary data you need to make improvements along the way. Now, when it comes to your workouts, do you really want to use your head as a filing cabinet, remembering exactly what you did for each set of each exercise, how many reps, when you hit failure? No, you don't. I've tried, it's not fun. I recommend a Google Doc, an Excel sheet, or you can even use a notebook if you really want to. Get old school, write it with a pen and paper. Either way, make sure you are tracking both of those. Now, you need to develop an immersion mindset. Now, an immersion mindset is diving deep into kind of like the world of fitness. You're really jumping into this new routine, this new training system that you have, and it's very important that you, I don't want to say build your life around it, but integrate this fitness, this lifestyle into every area of your life. I would like to challenge you to, let's say, develop this immersion mindset for 90 days. Give it 90 days of tracking your meals, tracking your workouts, doing everything that I'm talking about for 90 days. And without a doubt, you are going to see the results you're looking for. And that brings me to my next point, which is your identity. You want to focus on a new identity. So right now, you may be a skinny guy who has low self-confidence, who doesn't know how to build muscle. I want you to focus on the new version of you. This new version of you exists out there. You are jacked. You have a ton of self-confidence, and you are the best version of you. You have tapped into your true potential. I want you to focus on being that guy. Act as if you are already that guy. A new identity I like to give people is I am someone who trains consistently. Like I said, consistency is going to be the most important part. If you can build an identity around someone who trains consistently, who eats healthy consistently, you are going to be able to achieve that new version of you, that better version of you that's out there begging you to come meet him. You can achieve it as long as you are consistent and you develop a new identity. And then lastly, this is probably the motto that I live by, is everything above 0 compounds. Now, what do I mean by this? What I mean by everything above 0 compounds is very simple. So let's say, just for example purposes, your A day is you work out for an hour a day, Monday through Friday. That's like perfect. Everything is going well. That is the standard you have set for yourself. We'll call it an A day. Now, a B day is a day where something gets a little out of hand, you get a little busy, and you can only make it in for like a 30-minute workout. Now, that's always going to be better than doing nothing, because those 30 minutes can compound into your future self, your future physique, while as doing absolutely nothing will never compound. You made absolutely no progress to your goal. Now, lastly, you have a C day. This is when something really hits the fan. It's just going completely out of whack. You're totally out of proportion. You don't know what's going on. Now, you might only get like a 5-minute walk or a 10-minute walk in today. Now, that 5 or 10-minute walk is still going to compound, even though it's something so minuscule, so trivial. It's still better than doing nothing at all. So live by this motto, everything above 0 compounds, and then you will be able to transform your new identity and finally get consistent results. Now, the final thing that I want to leave you guys with is more of like a frame of mind and just something to remember. Nobody is judging you. It may feel intimidating walking into the gym for the very first time, seeing everyone who looks like they've been working out for years and years, and feeling very intimidated and not really knowing where to go. It's okay. I've been in your shoes. I've felt the exact same way, and I promise you, they are not judging you. If anything, they are happy to see you ready to make a change, ready to get in better shape, and again, hit that new version of you, the one that taps into the true potential. Look, they're not judging you, I promise. It may feel like it, but no one's judging you for getting in the gym. They are just excited for you. So stick to your workout plan. You're gonna see a lot of people in there doing some probably pretty fancy things, moving a lot of weight. Don't do that right away. You want to make sure you're focusing on form, progressive overload, and again, you're brand new, you're just starting at this. It's okay if you don't have a lot of weight on the bar or you're not moving a lot of weight on the machines. Prioritize your form over what's commonly called ego lifting. Don't do it. Make sure you stick to your training plan, you stick to your progressive overload. Don't let any type of critic get to you. Now, your friends that, you've been partying with or eating crappy food with or who don't work out, they might start judging you for getting in better shape, putting away the bad stuff in life, eating healthier. They honestly are probably going to judge you. They're going to call you weird. They're going to be like, well, why don't you come, eat pizza with us? Why don't you come drink with us? They're going to say these things, but don't let it get to you. You are on a different mission than they are, and that's totally fine. You are looking to upgrade and change your life. Well, I'm not saying that they don't want to do that, but they may not be in that position that you are right now, and that's fine. You can still be friends with them. Don't indulge in the behaviors that they're doing, but look, don't let their hate get to you. I promise they are just sad that they cannot make the same changes that you are making. So use this fuel that you are making a change. You are getting to a better version of yourself, and just don't let it bother you. And then lastly, be a bodybuilder, not a weightlifter. This is probably one of my favorite quotes that I have seen on the internet. Be a bodybuilder, not a weightlifter. What that means is it's kind of what I touched on a little bit earlier, that prioritize your form, the stretch, the contraction and activation of the muscle over pushing a lot of weight. We want to sculpt and build a beautiful, massive physique. We don't want to just be the guys who push around a ton of weight, grunt all over the gym, but they don't really look that good, if I'm being honest. Yes, I could teach you how to be a power lifter, how to move 315 pounds, all this stuff I could teach you. But if you want to get there quicker, or if you want to be a bodybuilder where you look like you can bench 350 pounds and eventually get to that point, you're going to want to prioritize your contraction and the stretch and the activation of your muscle. You don't want to worry about weight and ego lifting and any of this extra stuff. I promise it's not worth it. You're going to end up hurting yourself. So if you can be a bodybuilder, not a weightlifter, you are going to be on a fast track to putting on a ton of muscle mass very quickly. Congratulations on finishing the video. You guys who completed it are the people that I want to work with. You guys are the serious ones, the 1%ers who actually want to make a change in their physical fitness, in their mindset, and really unlock that true potential that is inside of you. So if that's you, like I said before, go down to the description, click the link down there. There's going to be a video on my website that I want you to watch. I already know you guys are going to resonate with it, but if you feel like I am speaking directly to you, go ahead, scroll a little farther down, click the button, book a call directly with me, and then we can set something up. We'll jump on a call and we will get something set up for you so you can go and unlock that true potential within. So go down below, click the link, watch the video, schedule the call, and I look forward to speaking with you.